Hey Virgo, let's see what's going on in your love life. This is a tarot love reading for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and of course for any of you lovely cross watchers dealing with a Virgo romantically. Now I do always like to remind you, Virgo, general readings may or may not resonate. That's totally okay. You're more than welcome to take what works and leave the rest. So we're jumping right into it today, my lovely Virgo, and let's see what could be coming toward you in love. First message coming out today for Virgo, very interesting. We're starting with the Two of Pentacles. Now, this tends to be a card that's associated with somebody who's maybe not feeling certain about us. Maybe somebody who's kind of on the fence. Maybe they're giving us mixed messages. It's like you can't really figure out if you're together or you're not together. This can sometimes, to me, represent a bit of a situationship scenario where it's like you're together, but you're not together, but they don't really want to define it, but yet they keep calling you and hanging out. Like I'm getting this sense of somebody who is being very wishy-washy right now, Virgo, and probably making you feel a bit confused about where you actually stand with this person. So let's see where it goes. Tell me more, please, about what could be coming toward Virgo. Okay, that is fascinating. The Knight of Cups. I don't know, Virgo. We're gonna keep going, but I'm getting a little bit of a weird vibe with this, and I'm gonna tell you why. So the Knight of Cups is the card that a lot of us call the knight in shining armor kind of energy. It tends to be somebody coming in and being super romantic, very over the top, big declarations of love. But what's interesting to me is that in and of itself is nice. It's like, you know, it feels good when somebody does something romantic. It's interesting that it comes in after the Two of Pentacles though, because it comes in after this very unstable energy of somebody who doesn't seem to really know what they want. And then they come around with these big declarations of love. And I guess what I'm kind of intuitively feeling here is maybe a bit of a pattern, Virgo, where your person kind of pulls back. They make you feel a bit insecure. You don't know where you stand with them. You're in this weird limbo with the Two of Pentacles. But then as soon as you start to pull away, all of a sudden they come towards you with this Knight of Cups energy and they're being super romantic. And you're like, oh, so maybe they do really love me. Maybe they do really want to be with me. That's just my initial impression. Let's keep going though. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Virgo. The Lovers, okay. I mean, maybe it's a turnaround. The Lovers is Gemini energy and it indicates love. So this is suggesting that your person has a lot of love for you. I wonder, maybe it is a turnaround, you know? I was a little bit nervous when we had the Knight of Cups, but now that we have the Lovers is a really nice card. So maybe what we're seeing here is the potential for a really big turnaround where if you've been dealing with somebody right now who has been very uncertain, very unclear about what they want, there might be a shift here where this person is actually starting to realize that they do want to choose you because the Lovers is a card of choices. It's about love and choices. And so maybe you've been dealing with someone, like I said, who's been kind of non-committal, on the fence with that Two of Pentacles. Like maybe it feels like they've been stringing you along a little bit. Like I said, I do get situationship coming to mind. So I do think for some of you, this has been a bit of a situationship scenario where it's like, you know, you're kind of together, but it's not clearly defined and you're existing in this weird in-between kind of space. It could be that your person is deciding that they want more. I mean, these cards are suggesting a movement from instability and uncertainty to a place of choosing you and loving you and maybe finally realizing that they do want something more serious and they do want to commit. So this could be a very fascinating kind of turnaround here where your person seems to be having some sort of wake-up call, Virgo, where they now want to be with you, right? So here's what we're going to do for the rest of the reading. We're going to look more at this person and we're going to look more at you. So we're going to look at their overall energy, what they could be feeling, what actions they could be taking right now. We're going to look at the same thing for you and then we'll look at the potential outcomes. So let's see where it goes. Tell me about this person who's here for Virgo. Okay, nice. I mean, Ace of Wands is a good card. It's about a brand new beginning, a fresh start. It's very passionate. There's probably a lot of chemistry between you and this person. So yeah, I mean, the sparks are definitely flying. Tell me more about this person's energy right now. The Judgment card. Very interesting, Virgo. You know, Judgment can be a card of forgiveness and second chances. As we're getting into it, I'm like, okay, maybe this person is like genuinely waking up to the fact that they have this love for you and they want to be with you. because this is basically someone saying like, I'm sorry I didn't realize it sooner, Virgo. I actually do want to be with you. I don't know why it took me this long to realize that. Okay. Tell me more, please, about this person's energy. And then the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. So maybe some of you are dealing with a Virgo romantically. I feel like what they're going to be saying to you, Virgo, is I've been doing a lot of soul searching. I didn't know what I wanted before, and now I know what I want, and it's you. Okay, yeah, as we're getting into it, big turnaround type of energy here. All right, let's see what they could be feeling. High Priestess. This energy is kind of wild and intense today, Virgo. Let's break it down. So when I get the High Priestess energy, to me, this represents a very strong soul connection between two people. Now, this is significant because it's the first card showing up in your person's energy. So basically, this is saying to me, Virgo, like they feel this is the real deal. They feel this is true love with you. They feel you are their soulmate, their person, their life partner, the one they want to be with. It's kind of to the point, like I keep getting the message, like they can't deny it any longer, right? It's almost as if this love that they have for you is now front and center, and they cannot deny the feelings. So like I said, maybe for some of you, it's been kind of casual for a while and undefined, but it feels like something is awakening within your person to make them realize the depth of the feelings that they have for you. And that also fits with the Judgment card, which can represent an awakening. And then this is basically saying that your person definitely feels like there is a soul connection here between the two of you. Wow. Okay, tell me more about what they could be feeling. Queen of Pentacles, okay? Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. They are very steady and stable now in how they feel. This is completely opposite energy to the Two of Pentacles we saw as the first card. Maybe they're moving from the Two of Pentacles, which as we saw was that like super uncertain, wishy-washy, unstable energy, to this, which is like one of the more stable energies that you can see within the tarot. And the thing that's actually really beautiful here, Virgo, is that this Queen of Pentacles is showing up in their feelings. So it tells me they are stable in terms of how they feel about you. They're no longer like going back and forth trying to figure out how they feel and what they want. Something appears to have shifted where there is now such a great sense of stability in terms of how they feel about you. Okay, tell me more about what they could be feeling, please. The Magician, okay? So this is about manifestation, co-creation, wanting a life with you, wanting to manifest a future. Now, I'm getting another message as well. The message I'm getting is they're finally ready to let you in, okay? And I'm going to tell you why I'm getting that message. So the Magician, like I said, it can be a really nice energy of manifestation, but it can also sometimes be a card of somebody who has trouble opening up and showing their true self and being vulnerable, because the Magician can be somebody who's like presenting illusions. So to me, that can be somebody who's like kind of hiding parts of themselves. Maybe they're scared to open up. They're scared to be vulnerable. So I also kind of feel like maybe your person has held back a little bit, Virgo, within this connection. And now they're like, I don't want to do that. I want to open up. I want to start just, showing Virgo who I am. And let's really start to take things deeper. Let's really start to connect on that deeper level and build this beautiful relationship. Okay, let's see what actions they could be taking. We like to see that, don't we, Virgo? The Chariot, very action-oriented energy. It's like they want to charge forward. I love that like an action-oriented card is showing up in their actions. It tells me they're coming towards you, they're approaching you, they're initiating conversations, they're initiating contact, they're wanting to talk, and they're wanting to move forward, right? They're wanting to like charge forward into the future between the two of you. Tell me more about what actions they could be taking. Queen of Swords, nice. They're charging forward with clarity, communication. They're now talking, they're letting you in, they're sharing their feelings, they're asking how you're doing, they're talking about the future. Like all of a sudden, I just feel like something really clicked for your person. And it really feels like they're waking up to the fact that they want to be with you. And they are very clear about that. And I don't think they've always been that way. Like, I think the purpose of this reading is to say they haven't always been that way. And there have probably been moments where you have been very confused and very uncertain about their behavior. Something really seems to be shifting for them. So they're going to be talking, communicating, sharing their vision for the future. I like it. And opening up, like we said a moment ago with the Magician, where it's like maybe they held back before. Maybe they're ready to start being more vulnerable with you. Tell me more about what actions they could be taking. Three of Pentacles, I love that. Okay, this is really nice. I gotta say, I was nervous initially when we had the Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, but that nervous energy is kind of going away as we look at them because it feels very genuine. It feels like they feel you are their lover, their best friend. And maybe this is something that started out as friendship, and that's why it was a little bit murky for some of you, right? Like maybe you guys were friends and then you started sleeping together and then the boundaries got blurred because it's like, are we friends? Are we lovers? Like, what are we? And that may have put you in a bit of a weird limbo for a while, but it definitely feels now they want to show up for you. They want to be your teammate. They want to be your partner. They want to support you. They want to have your back, all that good stuff. So that looks really nice, you guys. Okay, so let's look at you. Tell me about Virgo's energy right now, please. Okay, look at that. Three of Wands. I think you see a future with them. I really think you do. Tell me more about Virgo's energy right now, please. Strength. And you have very strong feelings for them. Obviously, the two of you care very deeply for each other, Virgo, okay? And I think that the feelings, what I'm getting here is like, the feelings have the potential to keep growing over time and becoming stronger and stronger. I also feel like the Strength card is a really good indicator of a relationship that can overcome challenges too. So that's a really good thing if you guys can work together to overcome challenges in your relationship. Tell me more, please. And then, ooh, seven of Swords. Okay, let's talk about it. So Seven of Swords is what we call the Thief of the Tarot. It's not like a great energy to get in a love reading because it does indicate heavier energy. So this to me is kind of the energy of like, can I trust this? And it makes sense because if this is a turnaround where your person for a while has not really been sure and has been on the fence, and then all of a sudden they're coming in with these big declarations, it's like a big part of you wants to believe it, but there's definitely a part of you that's like, can I trust it? You know, is this too good to be true? I feel like this is something that you've been wishing for, Virgo, but this funny thing happens. It's like, sometimes we really wish for something to happen, and then when it does, it almost catches us off guard because maybe we never really thought it was going to happen, you know? So maybe you were wishing that one day they would commit and then it happened and you're like, oh my gosh, they're actually committing. Okay, what do I do with this? So there could be some of those feelings. Seven of Swords can also be an energy of self-sabotage sometimes. So there could be part of you that maybe, like, just watch out for this, Virgo. Maybe there's part of you that's like, I don't know if I can trust this, and you might, you know, push them away. So, and obviously it's your choice. I mean, if you want to be with this person, you can. If you don't want to be with them, that's your choice as well. But I feel like the Seven of Swords is like, watch out for any tendencies to go into that like self-sabotaging kind of energy. And, you know, the Seven of Swords can sometimes suck us into a more negative headspace and then kind of pull us down into that negative energy. But from what I see, there were no issues with your person, right? That's why we look at both you and them. There was not anything that was showing up as a problem, right? So the Seven of Swords, I think it represents more your fears and your insecurities around this situation and just wondering, like, can I trust this? Is this gonna, you know, work out? And I think it's about, you know, looking at the whole situation, look at how they're showing up, because I don't feel that they're gonna be doing things to make you not trust them. I think they're gonna be showing up consistently. So maybe it'll just take a little bit of time for you to kind of adjust to this, you know, new phase of your relationship, if that's what you want, right? So let's see what you could be feeling. Page of Swords, good. Talk to them. My advice here, Virgo, is that, you know, if you have any questions or concerns, like, get it out in the open, because I feel like one of the questions you're gonna have is, why now? And I almost feel that you're hesitant to ask it. Let me know if that connects, Virgo. You know, it's kind of like they're turning things around. They now want to commit. This is what you've been hoping for. But I think there's part of you that's like, you know, scratching your head like, why now? You can ask them, right? Like, this is potentially your partner. Have the conversations, ask the questions, don't hold back. Sometimes the Page of Swords can hold back a little bit and not really, you know, get deeper into the heart of the issue. Don't be scared to ask those questions, right? Because I feel like your person will be able to tell you exactly why now and why they're ready. Tell me more, please, about what Virgo could be feeling. The Justice card, okay? This is interesting. You know what it is? I think, I'm like, how do I put this into words? I do think you've been a bit hurt in a way by what's happened, because if you're resonating with the message today, Virgo, I do think this is a situation where your person hasn't always been committing, right? And I think that's been hard for you. It's probably been hard for some of you to maybe be in love with this person who for a while has not been very clear about their feelings. And so that's also where I think some of this hesitancy might come in, where you're like, I've been wishing for this and wanting this, but there is still a little bit of that uncertainty, because I think it's been a bit of a long road for some of you, if that makes sense, right? It's like you might be really happy that this person is now committing, but there's probably a lot of complicated feelings where you're like, oh, I've been wanting this for so long. I'm really happy it's happening, but like it was really hard waiting. Like, why now? Why do they want me? So there could be some complicated stuff coming up for you. Tell me more about what Virgo could be feeling. Six of Pentacles. Okay. But I do think that you're looking at it and you're like, I do think we can bring this into balance. The Justice and the Six of Pentacles are both cards that have an element of balance. So I think emotionally, this represents you balancing out. Like I said, I think, it can be surprising when somebody finally shows up for us and chooses us. So just expect that there can be good moments, good feelings, confusing feelings, like lots of feelings might come up about this potential transition into the next phase of your connection. So just kind of honor those feelings as they come up. And I feel like the Justice and the Six of Pentacles say like, it's going to balance out. Your feelings are going to balance out, but be prepared that this change in how your person feels is probably going to bring up a lot of feelings for you. Okay. So let's see what actions you could be taking. Oh, Three of Swords. I think you're scared. I think you're scared. This is so fascinating. It's like, I feel like you've been wishing and wishing and wishing for this to turn serious. And then now that it potentially is, it's almost like you're having trouble buying into it. It's fascinating. Like the Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak. So it's like, you don't want to end up heartbroken. And so I don't know, like your energy feels a little bit nervous. It's like you want to give your heart to this person. But I think, honestly, I think it's just because you guys have been in limbo for so long. It's like you're gonna have to have an adjustment period where you're like, okay, we're no longer in limbo. Like they're showing up for me. They're choosing me. So there might be a bit of a mindset shift that needs to happen here. Let's see what other actions you could be taking. King of Swords, yeah. Talk to them. Talk to them is the moral of this story. So you might go to them, like I see fears coming through for you, Virgo, okay? We didn't see that for your person, but we see the fears coming through for you. If you're scared, talk to them, right? And I think the fear is, it goes back to that message I keep getting where it's like, why now, right? Like I think you just want to understand and feel confident that they feel confident in what they want. And so if you're scared because you're like, well, all of a sudden you want to commit, what happened? What changed for you? Why do you want to commit? Like, ask those questions. And you can even say to them, like, I'm so happy. I've wanted this for a while. Are you sure? Like, I could almost feel you asking them, like, are you sure? Because I think they've probably been non-committal for a while. So you're kind of like, can I trust this like change, this big change where all of a sudden they're ready to commit? So if you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling anxious, like talk to them and have those conversations. Tell me more, please. And then the Four of Cups. Interesting. Yeah. So the Four of Cups tends to be a card, as you can see, of pulling back, wanting to protect ourselves. I think your energy is very fascinating. It's like you finally could be getting what you want. Like what I'm getting is that they're finally going to be saying the things that you've wanted them to say for a while. But now that they're saying it, it's like you are super anxious and nervous about it. And you're like, I don't know what's happening. What do I do with this? I will say the Four of Cups is a card that can represent missed opportunities. And so with the Seven of Swords, where I was like, it can be a little bit of a self-sabotaging energy. There's fear here. There's anxiety. It's almost feeling like your initial reaction might be to get scared and run away. That's kind of what I'm getting. And again, I don't know, like you can kind of assess where that's coming from for you personally. My sense is just you've wanted it for so long and you love them so much, you just don't want to get hurt. You don't want them to like commit and then walk away. We didn't see that in their energy though, right? So I think for you, this could be a very interesting turn of events where you're going to have to figure out like, how do I feel? do I want to commit? Am I ready for that? And if I'm scared, where is that coming from, right? Interesting, interesting, interesting. Let's look at the potential outcome. What is the potential outcome in this situation? The moon. Moon is interesting. It's a very mysterious energy. It can indicate hidden fears and anxieties. Tell me more. And then the sun. Very happy energy. Tell me more. What is the potential outcome here? Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. I think it's going to work out. But let's break it down. So when I first got the moon, I was like, let's see. This is the fears. This is the anxieties. This is the like, oh shit, am I really going to finally give my heart fully to this person who has been non-committal? Can I trust it? Can I take that leap of faith? I feel like the moon is about recognizing those deeper feelings and insecurities, bringing them to the surface and getting them out there. And that's why I say this to you guys so much in readings. It's like communication is the magic ingredient, right? You know, in relationships, you need to be able to talk about your fears, your anxieties, your insecurities. So if any of that is coming up for you in this big change, talk to your person, okay? Don't keep those feelings hidden, Virgo. Get them out in the open. Have the conversations. And then look what happens once you start to get those things out in the open. These are two really, really good cards. The Sun and the Eight of Pentacles. This is a card, the Sun, of pure happiness, joy, blessings. And Eight of Pentacles, you know what that is? Two people investing in each other, two people investing in the relationship. So this outcome is making me feel confident that things are going to move in a really good, potentially very, very happy direction for you guys. But I do think it's going to be interesting because I think when we get a turnaround situation, there is that initial moment where you're kind of caught off guard. Maybe that's part of it too. It's like maybe all of a sudden they're like declaring their love and you're completely caught off guard, and it just takes you a little bit of time to catch up and feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like when anything changes or shifts within a dynamic, there could be that adjustment period. So maybe part of it as well is like you didn't anticipate this and all of a sudden your person wants to commit and you're like, oh my gosh, okay. And it just takes you like a couple days or a week or two to kind of wrap your head around it and be like, okay, we're actually doing this. We're actually choosing each other. We're actually committing. And then you can both kind of fully put your heart into it. But I do think there's something here like in that transition where, you know, it might feel a little bit weird or uncomfortable because you're moving from one phase in your relationship to a new phase. And I think there's a lot of feelings that come with that. And it does look like you're going to get to a happy place, but just kind of be mindful that there will be a transitional period as you potentially navigate into this new phase, more committed phase of your connection. So that's what I see for you, Virgo. If you enjoyed this reading, you know what to do. Give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And of course, you know I wish you love, I wish you happiness, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.